Greetings, everyone. I am Jennifer A. Taguchi, teacher of Carino High School from Philippines. It's an honor to present my research on the learning outcomes of students in traditional and virtual laboratory instruction in science. I will discuss here the reasons behind this work and to make it possible in the benefit of the students. On May 2010, the Asian Development Bank released a report on the declining quality of Philippine basic education. The outcomes showed strong determinants such as socioeconomic characteristics and low academic performance as main reasons for such occurrence. In reality, poor households tend to give more priority to their basic needs rather than sending their children to school. Thus, the opportunity of ensuring good future and lifting them out of poverty was set aside. Furthermore, Michael Crawford, the World Bank Chief Education, stated that the Philippines underperformed among peers in East Asia and the Pacific. We scored below 400 level while others got 500 level as an average on wealthier countries. Accordingly, it was confirmed in the report of the Manila Times around 2014 that junior high school students got a lower achievement score in the National Achievement Test or NAT starting from this year 2005 and up to present year. The results were declining. It does not reach 50% on its passing rate, particularly on academic subjects like science, showing it here. They are pointing it to the absence of science laboratories and poor quality of basic science education. Consequently, the Department of Education has been implementing programs to counter the declining trends of key indicators of education. They had introduced interventions to vary the complexity on the demands for basic education, such as trainings and computerization programs for school. Also, Filipino educators are researching solutions that will fit on the needs and demands of students in every region to overcome the problem. As a teacher, I recognize some reasons to declining literacy in science among my students while seeing how technology affects or invade the studentry. Knowing that this would be a challenging, stressful task and would require a lot of planning, still determined to put it down for the sake of our new generations and to produce a globally competitive Filipino learners. I have read a study of Don Lee that gives an inspiration. With this, an idea of the use of virtual lab in classroom as an intervention that might improve the performance of students, and the integration of PhET simulations as a starting mechanism as virtual laboratory instruction as research. This research wanted to show the learning outcomes of students in comparison with traditional instruction and virtual laboratory instruction. The objective was to unleash the common knowledge and lay out growing passion and seeking development to science education. This paper actually doesn't want to put negative thoughts on traditional style, but to put new understanding on how technology can be useful in elevating the achievement of students in science through from pretest to the posttest. Its purpose is to engage students in science, acquire scientific inquiry skills, and experience the culture of doing science laboratories under motivating circumstances by undertaking active, guided experimentation to determine which of the traditional instruction and virtual laboratory instruction is highly applicable to Carino High School students in particular. I undertake this study to students of Carino High School as starting ground in pertaining virtual laboratory as a tool or as an enhanced strategy in teaching. Since virtual reality simulations and animations are important applications that develop and fitly place in the learning process to engage students and enhance their conceptions, they could also helpful to generate interactions at the same situation. The concept in gathering data, the traditional group, this one, followed the localization process and classroom-based activities in the public school settings in our country. However, in the experimental group, the computers were set up and internet connections for the simulation interactive portal-based activities all throughout. Both groups were treated and considered at the same way, such as activities were aligned on the learning competencies in science, distribution and collection of pretest and posttest, time and place for the performance of the activities, even the schedule of the school hours. After that, here are the main results of the pretest and posttest on all topics that being discussed for the whole module. 5 topics: work, sound, light, heat, and electricity. You will recognize the abrupt changes in the percentage on the performance of students among traditional group and also experimental group from pretest to their posttest. It was shown in my study that virtual laboratory instruction using PhET simulation was highly significant, which means that it has a great influence in the students learning the subject matter. To summarize, innovation is a mere thing to us now. Through the application of technology in Philippine education, we can adapt globally. This could strengthen our education with huge changes on implementation. We know that a lot of counter-measurement on how to flip a coin were done and challenges across the region are present. But at least the idea of education with technology will widen the horizon and our knowledge becomes a stronger weapon to fight against ignorance or even to fight poverty. And for more information on my research, you can browse it in www.ijsr.net. Here are the resources in doing this presentation possible. Also, some of my sources in doing my research. Thank you for listening. Have a great day ahead.